Hey, it's Imani, and today we're talking about how there is no such thing as being stagnant. Okay, I am busting down the stagnant myth because the truth is you're either growing and glowing or you're not. I was first introduced to this concept a while back, and I just totally did not fully grasp it until the puzzle pieces started to come together. So, the first puzzle piece is that I was in my room, I was looking at my plant. My plant was brown, definitely not green. And I was like, wow, I haven't watered or given my plant sunlight in forever. And the truth is, like, my plant wasn't going to stay stagnant, it needed the nutrients for it to grow, right? And so it hit me that like this is what the stagnant myth is all about. It's about always making sure that you're giving yourself the tools that you need to actually grow. So that was like the first puzzle piece. And then I was like, this isn't just about life, but it's also about my goals and who I want to be. And I was talking to one of my teachers. I was at the school, talking to one of my teachers. She stops me and she's like, so, like, what are you doing with your show? And I'm like, oh, my show is just like sitting up on a shelf, right? And she was just like, it was really amazing. And I feel like you should continue to do things with it. And I was like, I'm definitely going to do things with my show. And for all of you who don't know what my show is, I am the creator and performer of Beyond the Roots, which is an 85-minute one-woman show performance about just like growing up Black in America and the obstacles that Black people can face in their lives. So the show is very important because I share the stories of my grandmothers, my parents, and even my own story and the own obstacles that I've had to face. And so it's very important. And I could not stop thinking about how I told her that the show was just sitting up on a shelf. Like it literally like overtook my mind. And I realized the reason why I was so disturbed by me saying like, oh, it's just on a shelf is because like a book on the shelf doesn't get attention. A book on a shelf can deteriorate. It can be forgotten about, especially because you can walk past it and you may or may not pick it up. And because this show is so important to me, and I know that I want to do something with it and I want it to be great and I want more people to be able to enjoy what the show has to offer, I realized like it cannot sit on a shelf anymore. And I had to get very serious about my goals around the show. And I had to just get serious about my goals just in general. And I realized that just like the plants in our lives and in our bedrooms, they need sunlight and water. And so that's exactly what I'm going to give you the tools to do, right? The sunlight that your goals need is, that daily sunlight, right? That daily look at. And the way that you're able to focus on your goals daily is literally after my morning routine, I look at my goals. I don't do much with them. All I do is look at them. And I like ask myself, like, is this something you still want? The answer is yes. And it's like, forefront of my mind, like this is what I need to do. And then before I go to bed at night, I look at my goals again. Because I want to dream about accomplishing these goals. I want to dream about what it takes to get to these goals. I want to dream about how I'm going to feel, what I'm going to see, and what I'm going to hear when I finally say, yeah, I did that. So that's where the sunlight comes in. It's something daily. It's something that I've built into my routine. And the way that you water your goals, right? You water your goals with a check-in. My check-in is literally on my calendar and it's called the Define Your Uninterrupted Future. The name is so important. Define your uninterrupted future for me because I am literally taking ownership of my future and it's a future that is uninterrupted. It's a future where I show up the way that I want to. And it shows up and I show up the way that I please and I show up without the obstacles. And so that uninterrupted really does mean like, what would my life be like if I didn't limit myself? What would it look like if I just believed in everything that I did? What would it look like if I didn't second guess myself? What would it look like if I took away the obstacles of me maybe being a woman or being Black, like wiping that away and living the life that I want to live and keeping that at the forefront of my mind. And so during this time, I look at my long-term goal, or some may call it your long-term outcome. then I also have a short-term goal that's going to allow me to get to that long-term, right? And in looking at that short-term goal, I write down the steps that I need to take so that I'm able to reach that goal. Of course, my goals are written SMART. And if you haven't learned about SMART goals yet, you just go ahead and look at my video. But SMART goals are very important because they are specific, they are measurable and meaningful to you, they are achievable, they are realistic, and they are also timely. And I have some more tidbits that I have about SMART goals, but that's definitely a different video. But yes, so SMART goals are amazing, and that's the way that I write them. And I always have a date associated with when I need to complete the step for that goal. And in that whole check-in, what I'm doing is that I'm promising myself to put myself first. Really, the way that these check-ins started, of course, I realized that I had my show on the shelf. But having my show on the shelf, right, it showed me that I wasn't putting myself first. I was being very proactive in my job. I was being very proactive in extracurriculars. I was being proactive in volunteering. And all that was being placed in front of my goals and my dreams and my aspirations, and really taking time to do something for my future self. Literally, it's called define your uninterrupted future for a reason, because everything I'm doing today is so that I can live the life that I want to live uninterrupted in the future. So literally put 45 minutes to an hour on your calendar every single week. Mine is on Wednesdays, and I sit down with myself and I'm like, what are your goals? What steps are you going to take to get there? And I still get my work done for all the other things in my life, but it's very important for me to take time for myself. And so before you even say, like, I never have the time, I'm going to stop you there. Because the question is, what if you had the time? What if you could take lunch later or shift your schedule around? Or instead of watching that show, you set up time for you to create and design and define the future that you want, and the future that you deserve, and the future that is literally right there in front of you. It's a future that you can definitely have. And so the takeaway from all of this is to focus on watering your goals, focus on giving sunlight to your goals, and focus on continuing to grow. Because if you're not growing and glowing, then you are withering away like a plant. And so many times we just forget to pour into ourselves and pour into the things that we want. And it's literally just taking a step each day. It has been transformational in my life, looking at my goals every day because they're at the forefront of my mind. And then it has definitely been another level of transformation that has happened because I've set out time for myself to literally make sure I'm always hitting the mark. And when I don't hit the mark, right? When I don't do one of my steps, I'm like, wow, I didn't do that. But then I ask myself why. And it usually boils down sometimes to I feel like, oh, I didn't have enough time. And then I check myself and I'm like, you did have time. Or you definitely did have time, but you just did something else with your time. So it just keeps you accountable. It's me keeping myself accountable and really saying, like, is this something that you want to do? And if you do want to do it, there's some sacrifices that you're going to have to make. So go on ahead and water your goals. Go ahead and give your goals sunlight and just continue to grow. Because the life that you want is already yours. Just a little water and sunlight. That's all you need. So go ahead, if you like this video, make sure that you like, comment, and share. And don't be afraid to drop your goals in the comments. Let me know how it goes when you have your weekly check-ins with yourself. It's just such an amazing thing to incorporate into your routine. As always, you can follow me on social media at Imani Adia, IMANIADIA. And until next time, go be great and go grow. All right, bye.